Hello, this is Yuji. We are at Vancouver Indoor Shooting Center, DVC. This is totally new to me and I'm very excited. Let's go inside and check it out.
My name's Wes Yen and I'm the manager here at DVC Ventures and I'm also the use of force instructor and the pistol instructor as well.
So what does DVC stand for?
DVC is the Latin motto, shooting motto, and it stands for power, accuracy, and speed.
My name's Pat. I'm a range safety officer here at the Vancouver Gun Range, or DVC Ventures is another name we go by. I've been working here for about 4.5 to 5 years now.
我的名字叫 Derek， 我来加拿大7年了。然后我在这边呢，就是从2-3年前开始玩枪，开始喜欢枪，然后在 DVC 工作了有1年了。
Well, I think shooting in general in Canada is a growing sport. There's not a lot of opportunity where people can come out and try different firearms and try different things to shoot, various different calibers. So it's one of those things that was a growing sport, and as a market we found that was worthwhile. So that's where we are today.
So you just mentioned shooting is actually a sport, attitude here. Could you tell more about that?
Well, I think some people, and I think this comes from media a lot of times, I think people think of guns as weapons and they think of them as evil things, but actually it's a sport. You know, target shooting, it's a growing sport in Canada. It's one of those things that's just a skill and it's a fun thing to do. For kids, adults, it's actually a family thing. You know, people might not think that, but if you come to DVC on a weekend, you see a lot of families here enjoying the sport of shooting.
Well, I worked in the Army for almost 7 years, and I always liked working with guns and teaching people how to shoot. That was part of my job in the military. Well, it's always fun to teach someone who's never used a gun before how to use a gun and seeing their reaction and their expression the very first time they shoot. That's always fun. That never gets old for me. But probably some of the more interesting things that have happened, we get a lot of bachelor parties that come here to shoot, and we've had some interesting costumes.
And could you tell me like how to start, where to step in?
The first thing you have to do is find someone to teach you how to shoot. In Canada, you have to be supervised by someone with a firearms license. So here at DVC, all of our range safety officers have gun licenses, so our job is to supervise you, the customer, while you're here shooting. So the first thing we do is we sign you in, you fill out a waiver form, we help you pick out the guns that you want to try based on your experience level or how much money you want to try out. And then we'll walk you through a safety orientation so that you know how to use the gun safely, what the safety rules are, and that kind of thing. And then we take you onto the range and we stay with you the entire time. And we basically walk you through how the guns work, get you shooting on the target, help you with any problems you have, and correct your aim if you're having trouble hitting the bullseye and that kind of thing.
And you also have special targets designed for special groups, like for girls you have Hello Kitty. I heard about that.
Yeah, I think that started as a bit of a joke just to kind of have the target, and then it became very, very popular, and we can't keep enough of them in stock. So the Hello Kitty targets are very popular. We also have the Minion targets from the Despicable Me movies. Those are also pretty popular. We have different versions of it. Right now we have a zombie version of the Minion, so people like those targets a lot.
So for the beginners, do you actually help them to pick up their guns?
Yeah, we have a lot of selection of different guns in different sizes and different power levels. So it gets a little confusing, especially for people who don't have any experience with guns. So we try to help people pick guns that are appropriate to their experience level or what they're interested in trying. So our two most popular type of guns are the 9mm pistol and usually like a 45 caliber pistol, which is a larger version. So for beginners, I usually suggest the 9mm or the smaller version, which is the 22 caliber pistol. The 22 is a very small bullet, very little recoil, so for most beginners that's an ideal choice, especially if you're nervous. And then most people just go to the 9mm because that is our most popular gun out of all of our guns here, and that's a good one to start with as well. Okay, so first thing is get you to just fill out the paperwork.
Okay.
So just print out your name there, your initials there. Perfect, and I just need to check some photo ID, please. Perfect, thank you. Well, we have a whole selection of guns to try out. For most people beginning, I would recommend you try. This is our price list here. So the cost is $30 per person, plus the cost of the ammunition that you shoot. There's no charge to rent the gun. You're just paying for the bullets that you use today. So for most people beginning, the 22 or the 9mm are the two easiest ones to start with. 9mm are most popular, and all of the guns in this cabinet are 9mm, so we have a very large selection. So I would probably recommend starting with 9mm first.
Sure.
If you feel like trying something a little more powerful, we have a lot of other options to try as well.
Let's start from the 9.
Okay, sure. Well, what I would usually suggest is pick a gun that will fit your hand. So how large are your hands? Okay, so you could probably handle most of the guns here. What I would suggest we do is pick out a heavy gun and a lightweight gun. So you have two different ones to try out, and then you can take turns and try both pistols.
Sure.
Okay. So what I would suggest you try for a heavy gun, we'll pick the CZ Shadow. It's one of my favorite guns for a beginner. And for a lightweight gun, we'll pick the HK SFP9. And both of those are good choices for beginners.
Okay.
Okay?
So that two belong to me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go and take them out. And I just need to know what targets you'd like to try. Large zombie target there. Those are good for the shotguns. The standard green police target is very popular. The black and red bullseye is more of a traditional target. And then we have the Hello Kitty, the zombie minion, and the stormtrooper target for those that want kind of a fun target to try.
I will pick the Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty? Okay.
So how many years have you been friends with guns?
Well, I grew up in South Africa, so I've always been around guns. So I've probably been around guns more than 30 years now. So for me, I've always been around firearms. I think guns in general are peaceful. Guns don't necessarily have to be something not peaceful. I think it's just a matter of educating people and just getting people to realize that it's just a hobby or a sport, just like anything else.
And how this hobby actually transform yourself, like your values or your life attitudes?
For me personally, it's actually been a good teacher. I've gotten to take a lot of gun courses. I've gotten to teach a lot of courses as well. So for me personally, it's provided some structure in my life. And it's just taught me many things, I think, about people, just about the industry in general. But I think overall, I think I'm more connected with people doing what I do.
And what kind of courses you offer here in DVC?
We offer quite a few. The PAL course is the main one we offer. That's the Possession and Acquisition License course. So that's the course you take in order to own or purchase a firearm. We also offer Handgun 101, Her Handgun 101. We teach a gun cleaning course, and then we also do the weapon retention and use of force course, which is for armored car guards. We have courses for different levels, and it is growing. It is an area that we are trying to expand on and keep on growing as well.
I noticed that on your website you say that DVC is actually the best in BC. Why it's the best?
Well, I think we have a lot to offer here. Like I said, in terms of selection, the types of guns we have, the different calibers and varieties. And also what's good about this, we are multilingual here at DVC as well. I mean, we have Chinese, so both Mandarin and Cantonese. We have French here, English, of course, and then we have Dutch as well, Dutch and Afrikaans. So we're pretty multicultural here at DVC.
So we noticed actually you target on the Chinese community a lot. You have the Chinese web portal. So could you share any experiences of having Chinese community as your clients?
Well, it's a market that we didn't previously explore. It is a very large market, so it's one of those things that we wanted to try and just see where we could go from there. I mean, other than the Chinese, there's a lot of potential other markets we could explore as well. I mean, I think just tourism in general, but it did make sense to explore the Chinese market as one of our options also.
我平时在国内，然后呢，这次也是来温哥华旅游，然后呢，让这边的亲戚朋友安排一下，因为国内这种机会比较少嘛，然后就想来体验。现在 在比较期待了。
我现在在外面已经能听见里面枪声还挺大的，然后就可以期待着里面就是枪声应该还挺震耳欲聋的，然后就是比较期待就是打的那个过程应该还挺刺激的，然后也比较期待说能打的环数也许可以好一点。
所以其实对很多移民到这边来的华人来讲，能够打枪也是一个福利了哈。能不能跟我们说一说，在加拿大就是持枪啊、牌照啊这些究竟是一个怎么样一个规则？
加拿大这边有一个办公室叫 CFO， 叫 Chief Firearm Office。那基本上所有的枪证都是由他们来签发的。那他们对枪证的要求就是说，凡只要在加拿大居住，然后那如果是你加拿大的Permanent Residential 或者加拿大的 Citizenship， 或者你持有你工签或者说是学生签证，都可以。
哦，所以包括国际留学生，
包括国际留学生，包括在这边工作的人，但是持旅游签证的不可以。
那这个持枪执照它意味着什么？
持枪执照意味着你可以买枪，你可以拥有枪，包括你可以参加一些比赛，或者说在这边的一些运动都可以。
那你能跟我们大家讲一下，就是怎么样可以得到这个持枪执照吗？
基本上持枪执照的申请过程是说，你先要上一个这个safety course， 就是上一个课程。那这个课程呢，一般是2天时间，然后呢分为2天时间，1天1个。那第一个呢是 restrict 课程，就是限制级的枪证，还有一个是呢 non-restricted 的枪证，就是非限制枪的枪证。然后呢，他会给你一个表格，然后你需要填好你的表格，同时呢，你要提供2个 references， 提供2个你认识超过3年以上的人，在加拿大这边，然后呢，作为你的一个参考，然后你把整个表格呢寄给这个 CFO。
I think safety is a top concern for most beginners, including me. So what kind of measures you offer to protect your customers?
Yeah, well, this is a secure building, so you can't get in or out of the building unless the staff buzz you into the building. So in that respect, the building is locked all the time. It's controlled. In order to use the range, you have to go through the waiver form system. So we have to double check that you're 19 or older, or that you're here with a parent. We double check your ID and that kind of thing. And then while you're on the range shooting, you're supervised by a range safety officer at all times. So we're always within arm's reach of our customers. We're always watching, we're always there to supervise. So it's not like we hand you guns and we just turn our back and walk away. It doesn't happen like that. So we're always there to keep everyone safe, because safety is the #1 concern for us here too.
Yeah, you do also offer a lot of courses for them.
That's right, yeah. So we offer the firearms safety course, which is if you feel like getting your firearms license, your Canadian firearms license, you have to take this firearms safety course first. So we offer that here in-house. We also have private shooting lessons, lessons to learn how to clean your guns, and lessons how to learn how to shoot better. And we also, for more advanced shooters that want to get into competition shooting, we have something called the Black Badge course, which is for competition shooting. And we also offer a use of force course for armored car guards.
So now we are in the safety room, and my range officer, Patrick, will give us some instructions.
So I'm going to go over the safety rules and how to use the guns properly. So if you have any questions, just ask me anytime. Okay, so 2 very simple safety rules. The first and most important rule: when you're standing in your shooting booth, you have to keep your gun pointing straight. Don't wave the gun around side to side. Don't point at the ceiling, and don't point at the floor, and don't look down the front of the gun. Okay? Just always keep the gun straight. Even if the gun is empty and you're finished, don't put the gun down like this. Just keep the gun always pointing straight at all times. Second rule, you have to keep your finger off the trigger. So if you're right or left-handed, when you pick the gun up off the table, put your finger on the side of the gun and keep it here. We don't want you to pick up the gun with your finger on the trigger like this, because that's not safe. So just keep your finger off the trigger. Yeah, exactly. So as long as you keep your finger on the side, the gun is not going to fire. The only time that you should put your finger on the trigger is when you're aiming at the target and you feel ready to start shooting. If you aren't ready to shoot the gun yet, just keep your finger on the side until you're ready. Okay? So You start by walking up to the bench. You pick up the gun with your finger off the trigger. Make sure that your hand goes all the way to the top of the handle. Okay? With your other hand, you pick up the magazine. It's going to hold 10 bullets. So you take this and you load it inside the handle.
Are they the real bullets?
This is a practice bullet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you plug it inside the gun, and then with your other hand, you're going to reach over. You're going to grab the back of the gun here. You're going to pull and let it go.
Okay.
Yeah. Wrap your hand over the top and pull. Let go. Good.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Exactly.
This is very exhilarating.
Yeah, that's good. So now the gun is ready to shoot. The bullet is now loaded into the gun. Okay. So the next thing is you get a strong grip with both hands on the gun. So you start by lifting your thumb up, and you take your other hand, you put it on the side of the grip. Bring your fingers a little bit lower. Yeah, and then you wrap your fingers around the bottom. Okay, your thumbs just stay on the sides. Okay, that's good. Move your left hand a little bit farther in front, like that. Okay. Your feet should be about shoulder width apart. You just stand up comfortably, point your arms to the target, and now you start to aim the gun. So your gun has a rear sight and you have a front sight. So you start by looking through the rear sight first. You want to make sure the top of the rear sight is at the same level with the top of the front sight. So you need to keep them in line like this. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so when you have your sights in line and when you pull the trigger, the bullet will land on top of here. Okay? So once you have your sights on the target and you feel ready to shoot, that's when you can put your finger on the trigger. You're going to press the trigger very, very slowly and just wait for the gun to shoot. Okay? So when the gun shoots, it will load the next bullet automatically. So all you have to do is just aim and just pull the trigger at your own speed. When the gun is empty, it will lock open automatically when it's finished. So once this happens, you're going to turn the pistol over. Yeah, that's okay, just leave it for now. Okay, so when the gun is empty, you're going to press the small button on the side there. You push it in, and the magazine will drop out the bottom. And then you put the empty magazine down. We'll refill the empty ones for you. If you want to keep going, just take the next magazine, refill the gun, pull the handle back, and then just keep shooting at the target. Okay? Yeah, but that one's empty, so it's okay. Okay? If you want to put the gun down on the table to stop for a second or take a break, you need to shoot the gun until it's empty first. So once the gun is empty, you unload it, and then just put it back on the table, just leave it there. And then you can take a break or switch with someone else or switch to a different gun. Okay? Do you have any questions?
No, not really.
No?
So I'm waiting for the real shoot.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
All right, perfect.
在一般新手打枪，有一个误区，新手打枪很多新手觉得这个步枪会比手枪要难打，但实际上这个长步枪是比手枪要更容易一些，因为有枪托，你可以顶在你的肩部的时候，这个枪会更稳一些。那其实后坐力也没有手枪那么大。那绝大多数新手都会觉得，哦，手枪会比较容易，小枪小嘛，但这是一个错误的一个概念。然后其二呢，就是从选手枪上来说的话，如果是第一次打的话，我一般会建议我们的客人呢选一些比较重一点的手枪，就金属材质的手枪，因为现在呢近些年呢有很多这个塑料制成的手枪，那枪轻的话，同样的子弹你在扣扳机之后，枪的后坐力会更大一些，所以呢我会建议他从金属的枪开始，然后这样会一点一点 build up， 这样会对他们来说容易一点。然后如果说还有什么 tips 的话，就说别太相信电影上演的一些东西，然后呢它毕竟和真枪是有差距的，然后呢那还是需要去根据我们的一些介绍，根据我们给你讲的一些 safety 的东西来，根据我们的这些章程来做事情。因为有些人看过一些电影啊，或者看过一些这个电视剧啊，觉得哦这些人是这么样握枪的，或者说这么样打枪的，有些示范呢其实是错的。
所以说一定要有一些专业的辅导和课程。所以你们在就是听说也是会有一些面向于华人的这些爱枪的人，你们有一些中文的服务。
对， 我们在基本上从你进到这个我们靶场开始说，如果你需要中文服务，需要选枪，需要知道自己想能打多少子弹，或者适合打多少子弹，或者什么样的口径的子弹型号想打，我们都可以给你介绍。然后呢，我们可以帮助你选枪，帮助你选子弹。然后呢，我们对于一些中国客人呢，就完全听不懂英文呢，我们会给他们一个中文的一个 safety， 是普通话或者是广东话都可以。然后呢，我们会告诉他怎么样，所有的流程是什么样的状态，然后我们会告诉他怎么样握枪，怎么样装子弹，怎么样上膛。然后在他射击的整个过程中，我们都会有人一直陪同着。
就是据我了解，美国是可以这个全民持枪的。那加拿大就是通过您的介绍，好像是说通过一定的程序也可以去买枪。那这两个国家在枪支法制上面有什么区别吗？
加拿大相对来说更为严格一些。加拿大对很多枪，加拿大对枪有很明显的分类。那么在加拿大，枪分为3类，一种是呢，就是说 non-restrict， 就是它基本上来讲就是说非限制性枪。那大众的理解可能就说长枪，一般情况下长枪。然后 non-restrict，restrict 呢是指的是短枪，一般像手枪，或者说它一般指的是枪管短于18英寸的时候，它会列为限制级枪。那还有一种枪叫 prohibit， 那 prohibit 只有在这个加拿大军队和警察部门才可以使用，一般只是说像是全自动的步枪啊，或者说是一些比像 AK-47啊，或者像是一些这些枪的话，都会列为 prohibit， 在加拿大民众是不可以持有的。
那华人现在也是越来越多的移民到了温哥华，好，这个可能也是他们一个新兴起来的一个热衷的这个活动。您怎么去看待华人的这个热情？
绝大多数人来我们这儿刚开始没有枪证的时候，他们来这的时候一般都是说很多人跟我们提出说我们在国内没有打过枪，或者说没有碰过枪，那只是说很感兴趣，想试一试。那很多人对这些竞技射击的比赛蛮感兴趣的，所以他们到这儿来呢，想试枪，玩枪。那越来越多的人也咨询我们，就说我们怎么样能获得枪证，或者说我们怎么样能打这样那样的比赛。因为在大温地区呢，我们靶场是唯一一个可以提供给客人租枪的一个地方，所以说有很多人因为在别的地方没有办法试枪，很多人会先到我们这儿来，先租我们的枪试一试，然后呢再去买枪。那通常来说 ，general 来说的话，越来越多的华人对枪比较感兴趣，越来越多的华人想要拥有枪证。对。
您刚才说到，就是也会有一些这个比赛。
对。
是怎么样一种形式在这边？
呢，在4、5月份吧，就是一个 season 开始，从4、5月份开始，一直到这一年的10月份。那在 BC 省呢，一般都会有不同的城市，比如说在温哥华，在 Pitt Meadow， 还有在那个 Victoria、Nanaimo， 每个城市呢，大概1个月都会有那么一场比赛。然后呢，通过这比赛，然后每年还会在 BC 省呢，还会有一个 BC 的冠军赛。然后呢，在整个加拿大每年呢还会有一个加拿大的冠军赛，然后呢，这个组织其实在世界上还会有世界的冠军赛，对。然后呢，如果你感兴趣的话，你要用自己的枪，你可以去参加这些比赛。当然，你先要有枪证，然后你要买枪，然后你要同时再拥有另外一个牌照叫 Black Badge， 就是叫黑牌，战术射击的黑牌，你要拥有它之后，你才可以参加这些比赛。
名字叫谢雨桐，然后英文名字叫 Violet， 然后在这里来温哥华有4年了，然后在这里现在念大学。这次就是我家人他们说来打枪，然后就很激动，就想一起来。然后我觉得女孩子打枪一定特别的就很酷吧，然后也是一种第一次非常新奇的体验，因为在国内这种事情估计是我不可能发生在平常生活中。工作人员说第一次打嘛，然后打那种大的绿的，然后就比较瞄得准，不会脱靶，然后我们就想尝试一下大的。
也没经常来玩，这不是家人从国内过来找我玩，然后我说带着他们到这儿打靶，疏解一下压力，打枪咚咚咚的多爽。
有些人想说我买枪为了防身，其实在加拿大对于枪支的 对于这种 restrict， 比如说像短枪、手枪的限制还是比较多的。它比如打个比方，你在有了枪证之后，如果你买了枪之后，你要想放在家里，可不可以？可以的。那它对放在家里有什么要求呢？首先呢，你的枪上面必须装有扳机锁。那同时呢，然后呢，你的枪呢放在袋子里的时候，袋子外面必须要加锁。盒子外面必须加锁，同时呢，你的子弹和你的弹药和你的枪支呢是必须分开放，然后也是必须锁起来的。对加拿大来说，枪更多是一种运动的东西，更多是一种运动或者说打猎的东西。如果说有人破门而入的话，那在这种情况下，你第一反应应该是先打911，而不是使用你的枪。
我感觉就是对很多华人来讲，枪是非常的新鲜的，但是其实对北美来讲，他们已经是融入到生活当中的一种文化了。不知道你有没有在这方面有一些体验？
对，我觉得枪对北美来说是一个是蛮重要的一部分的。然后呢，那我个人是也喜欢枪，也买枪。那我觉得这个。多学一点总没坏处嘛，然后呢，你怎么样去了解枪，怎么样用枪，包括，然后呢，也是蛮不错的兴趣爱好。然后对，怎么说呢？对很多，这是加拿大给所有来加拿大人的一个权利吧。对，你可以选择去拥有枪。
That's very sad. I don't want to
When I was boiling, I was like, I'm telling him how I never clean it anymore. Right? And he's like, what? Just stop this.
Because I really like Hello Kitty. I didn't foresee this.